Hi everyone, I'm Keetra. We're going to go ahead and do a collective reading together today. And the intention for this reading is to provide guidance for those sober souls, those on the path to spiritual recovery and healing from so many things, not only drugs and alcohol, it's abusive, obsessive behaviors, and things that fall under that umbrella, let's say. So what I would like to do is use some oracle cards and some tarot to take a look at your past, present, and future, and just to give you a little guidance as you're on your soul's path. So these are collective messages. Some of these messages may not resonate with you, and if they don't, that's okay. Just leave the messages where you found them. However, there is also the possibility that you came across this video to share it with somebody that you think needs to hear the messages. So with that said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for subscribing. I appreciate every single one of you. I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Akashic Soul Records Oracle. We're going to get a message to kind of help guide us collectively on the soul's path for whom I am reading for, if that makes sense. Emotional labyrinth. You feel trapped in loops of repeating emotions. The way forward is through awareness, not resistance. Observe the pattern to find the hidden door. I love that. I love that for so many reasons. Those on the spiritual path to recovery sometimes participate in certain programs, and certain programs have meetings, and those meetings, sometimes it's really hard to find the door, not only physically, but sometimes it's just hard mentally to take that step for yourself and ask for help and to kind of, join those groups that do offer support for so many things. So I just feel like maybe this is for those souls that kind of feel trapped in the loops of life, the loops of the scenarios that keep happening, that I just get like a hamster wheel feeling like you're doing something over and over and over again, and you're asking for it to be different this time. But maybe if you find the right door, you'll be able to take the first step to making a change for the better. So I want to also get a message from your inner child. So can I have a message from their inner child to help them as they're going through the emotional labyrinth? Okay. You have breathe in, practice breath work today. That's pretty important. Practicing breath work. Oh, so I kind of feel like it's when you're having those thoughts, those feelings that you may need help, take a breath. Just take it one moment at a time and practice that. And that will help ease the frustration of not knowing where to turn when you're trying to get through that door. So let's go ahead and we're going to use the before tarot. We're going to use tarot. We're going to use after tarot to just kind of try to figure out where you're at. So let's see. This one is the before tarot. Okay. So this is going to help me look into your past just collectively, just to see where you're at. I always say where you're at, where you're going, and how you're going to get there. So collectively show me a little bit of their past. So you have the Justice card, and you have the Temperance card, and you have the Moon card. Okay. So I feel like collectively the message here is this is someone that has not been able to find the balance that they're looking for in their life. Their life feels unjust. Their life feels repetitive. It feels like you've been trying different avenues, and yet you haven't been able to find that justice, that peace that you've been searching for in your life. I do feel like you have tried. This is the Temperance card, but it's the before. So it's that moment before you're able to take one thing and create another. So I feel like you've been searching. So this is the Moon card. And so it's that moment before that deep reflection. It's the moment before you realize for that transformation and for that change, you have to take the first step. You have to be able to look at your reflection, to look at the reflection of self, to be able to progress forward, right? So I think we're going to ask tarot, how do they get there? So where you're at, where you're going, and how you get there. So this one is going to be where you're going. So let's say you're open to asking for help and you're open to opening that door. And also as a side note, if you need any help on that spiritual path to recovery, please feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know how I can reach you and the kind of help that you're seeking, and we'll just go from there. But with the Justice, we have the Queen of Wands. Temperance, we have the Five of Swords. And then you have the Lovers. Okay, so where you're at and where you're going. Where you're going is a place of being able to tap into your higher self, being able to find that place where creativity hasn't been before, and being able to tap into something other than yourself. So the Queen of Wands is very intuitive. So she's asking you to reach out to your guides, reach out to the divine, reach out to God, to be able to navigate that reflection of self with the, let's say, the past cards here, right? With Temperance, I see that it's almost as if you are just kind of like fighting the thoughts in your mind. You have all of these chaotic thoughts going on for you right now. It feels like one thing is leading to another and leading to another. And it feels like you just can't find the way to be able to kind of like slow things down and kind of like calm the crazy is what I just kind of feel. And I don't mean crazy like you're crazy. I just mean like sometimes those thoughts, they get to be so chaotic. And the Five of Swords, you have an option. So I feel like the option that you're being given right now is to either stand in what you have felt in the past, which is that you can just do it on your own, or you can be the other people in the card and you can walk away, and they're walking away towards the water. And symbolically, what I feel like that means for you is if you walk towards where your emotions are pulling you, if you walk towards what feels emotionally sound, I think that's how you're going to find the clarity. That trapped feeling, that loop, that repeating emotion, the way forward is through awareness, not resistance. So like this person in this card is resisting whatever that situation is for you. And these are not resisting. They're walking away. So you have a choice. And I feel like you have a choice because you also have the Lovers card. So the Lovers card is all about choices. It's about connecting to the divine, connecting to your higher self, and making that choice from a place that comes from right here. It comes from your heart, it comes from your heart chakra, that energetic field right here that is trying to pull you towards your emotions, pull you towards calming the emotions, if that makes sense. So let's say you're able to do that. Let's say you're able to get help. You're able to calm the chaotic thoughts that are in your mind. What does that look like for you? We're just going to put you down. And we're going to ask for 2 more cards. Wow. Wow. So it looks like you've made the choice. It looks like you've made the choice to get the help that you're seeking, whether it's physically or in your mind, or whether it's presently being gifted to you. You're making the choice right now to find that balance. So you have the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is you just really taking what's happened in your past and what's going to happen in your future and being ready to just walk into it, like walking into the door, right? So you also have the Lovers in the After Tarot. So you have the Lovers here, but you also have it here. Let's see. We're going to do that. That should be good for YouTube. Okay. So you have the Lovers in the After Tarot. So that's why I said it feels like you've made the choice, or your higher self knows the choice that you need to physically put into this world. And then I see you doing it. So the Empress is all about birthing that new idea and having it come into fruition. So if you're able to recognize where you're at, where things have not been in balance, if you've tried and you've tried before and it just hasn't worked, and now you're in that moment of a reflection of self, and you're looking to figure out how is it that you go about it. Well, your intuition is going to talk to you. You're going to understand that all of this chaotic thoughts and these things, you actually have a choice that you can make. You're going to make it with your higher self, and then it's going to be able to provide you that balance that you're looking for. You're going to make that choice, and you're going to have that union of kind of coming together. And I just heard like a moment of clarity. You'll have that moment of peace and clarity with that sword at the top with the with the higher self angel. And then the Empress, where you've literally birthed and brought into fruition what you want. So in the after tarot with the Empress, she no longer has that little bump in her belly because she has brought the idea down into the earth. And if you look, there's like the little goslings and ducks and all that stuff that are at her feet, because what she wanted to have come into her life, she has brought into her life. So he, she, they, them, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. This is what collectively my guides are showing me that you could do for yourself. So I think what we're going to end with is just 3 cards of advice. And again, if you do need a little bit of advice, a little bit of a guidance, just feel free to leave me a message or a comment on how I can reach you, and we'll go from there. But right now, I just want 3 cards of advice for them. So we're just going to use the tarot for that. Aww. Okay, so your 3 cards of advice are to rest. Rest and pray. Pray to whatever your higher power is for guidance. Just say, I need to know how to move forward. And then just know that the universe will line things up for you. It literally will. And then you have the Sun card, which is the best card in tarot, because what it shows me is that you can and will be able to do hard things. The symbolism in this picture that sticks out to me the most is the tiny little, let's say child, let's say your inner child, is able to do hard things. And it's not easy all the time, but if you just reflect on where you've been, because that's what you're doing right now, is you're reflecting on self. You reflect on where you've been and just realize that there was so many things, so many thoughts that were illusions. And if you can just ask yourself to focus on what will make my heart overflow, what will really ground me, and go from there. I think that's the best advice that I can give you from my guides at this moment. So again, I do enjoy doing these collective readings for my sober souls. I thank you so much for watching. And again, if you need a little help, let me know. Till the next video, you guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day.